What's up, everybody? This is Kooky217 here. Tonight I wanted to talk about one of my favorite franchises that got started back in, I believe, 1998-99. And I want to talk about this, Resident Evil 1. Obviously, the GameCube didn't come out in 98-99. My PlayStation version is around here somewhere. But I just wanted to talk about the franchise that set the standard for survival horror that became a household name, Resident Evil. Back when I was younger, I was over at a family member's house, and he had Resident Evil 2. This was back when sometime after I graduated. But he had Resident Evil 2. I tried it, and at first I didn't like it, because it bothered me that zombies were in the game. It bothered me that zombies could take over the city, and it scared me. Sometime later, I decided to give it another shot. I had just died. I didn't get anywhere. And it bothered me that I didn't get anywhere. But Resident Evil 2 was what got me into the Resident Evil series. And I'm glad I gave it another shot, because Resident Evil, it's just amazing. The first four are amazing. 5, 6, Operation Raccoon City, no, they're jokes. They are jokes. But I want to talk about Resident Evil 1, and I want to talk about my experiences with that. In 2000, when I was staying over at my grandmother's house at the time, I was playing Resident Evil 1, because after I had beaten 2, I wanted to find out how it got started. So I went back to 1, and I sat through the terrible cutscene, the iconic terrible cutscene, when I first started. I wonder how those actors and actresses are doing, by the way. But I played through it. I played through it after I got off work, or I would play through it. I meant to say. I was getting a little stuttery there, but my grandmother, she was so intrigued by the storyline. She couldn't wait until I got off of work, and then we would come home and she would watch me play. I remember her vividly asking me, did he find the other officers yet? And I was like, oh no, he didn't find them yet. My grandmother, she sat there watching me play Resident Evil 1 from start to finish. And even with her sitting in the room with me, I was scared shitless. I was scared shitless, and especially when the dogs jumped through the window for the first time. When you go into the hallway, it was just, man, that was scary stuff at the time. Unfortunately, today, Resident Evil has become a laughing stock. It's almost depressing. I mean, it's a damn shame that Capcom let their franchise get that low. One of their best-selling franchises get that low in the scale. But Resident Evil 1 is one of my favorite Resident Evils. It introduces the STARS members. If you don't know them already, Chris Redfield, Jill, Barry, they need to do a game on him. They need to, but I'm afraid it will turn out terrible. But the scene where you have to rescue Rebecca from the hunter, that was one of my favorite parts of the game. I forget where it happens and how you unlock that scene, but that part scared me too. When you're walking in the hallway and suddenly you hear Rebecca scream. As soon as I heard that, my heart was just threatening to come out of my chest. And my grandmother, she was on the edge of her seat too. She wanted to see if Chris would get to her in time. She was saying, "Is he going to get to her in time?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, he'll get to her in time. I'm going to make sure of it." But it was just some very, very good times playing Resident Evil 1 with my grandmother in the room watching me play, and the both of us getting into the storyline, wondering if Chris is going to find the other STARS members. That's one of my gaming experiences. That's my experience with Resident Evil, or one of my experiences at least. Resident Evil 3, oh my lord. Damn. Resident Evil 3. Now when I started playing that game, goodness gracious, you got the Nemesis just hunting you at every single corner. Now you can tell when the Nemesis is coming today, but at that time, at least for me, you couldn't tell when the Nemesis was coming. I remember one incident where I went into the save room, saved my game, and as soon as I walk out of the save room, "Hi, I'm the Nemesis. I'm here to kill you." Oh man, it was not, goodness, oh. I was over at my cousin's house playing this, and we had to run, but there was no running from the Nemesis, because as you may or may not know, he's stronger than you, he's faster than you, and no matter where you go, he's just on your ass. I mean, we didn't know how to beat him effectively, or I should say, or quickly, I should say. But there were times where we had no choice but to fight the Nemesis when he just like appeared at random. We had to use freeze rounds. We would save our freeze rounds just for him when he showed up. That was how my cousin and I beat him. That was how we beat him. You know, I mean, even with a family member in the room at the time, it was scary. It was very, very scary. We would turn off the lights and play it in the dark to get the full experience of Resident Evil. And for us at the time, that was very, very good. It's still good today. Even though we know what's coming, even though we know all the secrets, strategies, it's still a fun game to play. Resident Evils 1 through 4. 4 was, ooh man, 4. I've noticed that people have mixed feelings about 4. Some people consider it the greatest Resident Evil game made. I'm one of those people. And some of them don't. I happen to like the fact that they got away from the zombie thing and the people could make conscious attack moves or decisions or whatnot. That was scary. For the first 3 games, you're fighting an enemy that does not think and doesn't run, but in Resident Evil 4, nearly all the enemies run at you. I was talking to my friends about this a couple of months ago, and I was telling them about a remake, if they were to do a remake of Resident Evil 3. We're still waiting on the remake of 2 that they promised us, but if I was telling them, and most of you guys might think I'm insane for this, but if I were in charge of a Resident Evil game, I would fix it so that after Brad gets killed, sometime after you beat the Nemesis for the first time, he can just show up at random. You will truly never know when he's going to show up. There will be no music to let you know he's coming. He can either drop from the sky or crash through a building, or you can just see him walking down the street. You will truly never know when he's coming, and he will have his rocket launcher on him at random times. He will still be faster than you. He will still be stronger than you. The decisions that you have to make are still going to be there. There's still going to be fixed times where you're going to meet the Nemesis. Those are still going to be there. But sometime after that, after you make those decisions, he'll just pop up at random. And to make matters worse, he can also break inside of save rooms. I know that's a little insane, but you gotta add a challenge in there somewhere. But I just wanted to talk with you guys about my Resident Evil experiences, how I enjoy the game, and yeah. But leave a video response or just share your experiences or leave comments in the bar below. Subscribe to my channel, and thank you for viewing my videos. Thanks for keeping up with me. This is Kooky217 signing out. Take care.